my colleague Jordanka from the Bulgarian Biodiversity Foundation will be leading this session of closure. So Jordanka, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you. And I also need Mario around. Can we keep the microphone for Mario? Yeah. So it's a pleasure to bring something here from what we do in Bulgaria. You'll see in a minute. Your word is first.
Yes, okay. I will try not to bore people too much. I mean, it's the fun part of the whole conference. So I'll start with dear colleagues and friends. We have come here to share our worries, stories, and successful engagement to tackle climate change. We already live in a world highly affected by humans, even before the climate crisis. And we have taken lands from nature to grow our food. We have cut forests and built resorts. We change the river flow and pollute the land, air, and water on which we are all dependent. We are changing our climate on which all ecosystems are dependent.
4 years, 10 partners, 8 countries were working together to join our efforts to raise awareness about climate change in a positive and engaging ways. So speaking about partners, I guess it's also time to present ourselves. As Thor said, I am Jordanka. I'm from the Bulgarian Biodiversity Foundation and working there as project coordinator. And this is Mario.
Likewise, I'm Mario from BBF, the Bulgarian Biodiversity Foundation, working as a conservation practitioner, ecologist, recently joined the Young Ambassador team of BBF. And I would like to start with, of course, the gamified topic and the gamified products like geocaching, a board game, escape room, mobile application, creative approach via murals, exhibition, wilderness camps, and a dozen of events that have been part of our way to attract attention and give knowledge and power to young activists and scientists. So that our society is ready to overthink its livelihood and be prepared to the world we live in. In the end of the project, we are asking ourselves, how did climate change perception alter after these 4 years?
Can you actually remember and imagine how many global challenges and crises did we face and share together in the last 4 years? At first, the project was planned, a communication project with face-to-face events, but then COVID came and nobody could imagine that beforehand, that the whole world will be on a lockdown, that the economy, the growing and, financially run economy was just slowed down and put on a pause. Nobody could expect that. So we should change the agenda of the project at that moment. Then came the war in Europe in the 21st century. Then we're facing, and nobody feels safe anymore on the world, no matter where in Europe or the global south. For example, the recent storm Daniel that hit Bulgaria, Greece, and then in Africa caused more than 10,000 people dead. So we're all together, these partners and these young ambassadors in this very challenging and quickly changing world that we already live in.
And of course, these global and local examples gives an effect on society and how they made us rethink the climate crisis. Of course, it gives us more visibility of actions that we can take and support the start of different sort of opinion shifting in countries like the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, and finally moving on the debate of whether climate change exists and whether it is caused by human factor, to the debate on how to address it, because it's extremely important to manifest this.
And however, we still shift opinion. We already almost know that there is climate change. We're almost ready to act on that. But however, all of these global crises that we faced were marked by one and the same thing: misinformation, separation of people, fake news all the time, all the 3 or more global crises that we had. So vaccination, and the opposite opinion about that, the Kremlin propaganda, what do scientists think about climate change? These were real challenges that we had to work all the time in this environment. And actually, I think the major task that we have is to bring people back together, to act together on the earth and unite. And this is our highest task that we have as a consortium from now on.
And happily, the evidence of positive examples that are often out of the spotlight, being suffocated by fake news and bad news, are out there. And what we will do now is to make these positive examples be heard. So I would like to give the microphone to Dance to just say a few words about the foundation.
So tada, Sustainable Solution Stars. We from Bulgarian Biodiversity Foundation we make for more than 10 years already an event, a very special event in Bulgaria called Biodiversity and Climate Change Awards. In this event, we put into the spotlight the positive examples in nature conservation, what the politicians, the media, the activists, everybody do about biodiversity and climate change. And now we're trying to put a part of this ceremony here in Brussels, especially for you. And you should know that Climate Game On project wouldn't be that successful if it wasn't all the partners on board, and if besides the partners on board weren't all of you, the young ambassadors that were so much engaged and working in your activities. So probably you will maybe recognize some of you in the next stories that are coming.
With this in mind, I would like to start our Sustainable Solutions Awards, and the first award goes to the Upcycling Queen. As the textile industry is responsible for 10% of the CO2 emissions, climate change can be tackled by creativity and gathering community, inspiring them by your actions. The young ambassador joined Game On to organize clothes swaps events and was present at all 5 receiving, upcycling, coloring clothes, and advertising all participants how to bring their boring old clothes back to life. Yesterday, she had her first workshop in English and was so nervous that she practiced how to pronounce the word clothes.
Clothes. All the way in the train. You know, these guys from this country travel by train everywhere.
And so the
do you know who is that?
Queen goes to Agne.
Great. Come here, Agne.
Come to stage.
I will need a small assistant, but you have 20 seconds of spotlight in the microphone.
If you would like to say a word.
Clothes. Thank you.
So before the project, she didn't knew anything about the climate change, but this wasn't a problem. And it wasn't a problem because she was only 15. Then she had a budget of only 200 euro, and she managed to make a whole festival to involve peer volunteers to help her, to invite members of European Parliament in this event, and to moderate the discussions with these officials all the time. And actually this moderation of politician discussions became also part of her everyday life and superpower. And I see there are some movements, so you probably already know who is getting the prize, the award for personal growth. Come on.
This is Alexandra.
Congratulations, Alexandra.
Well done. Would you like to?
My worst photos are always from Game On events, but the events are always the best.
And now, from the very beginning of the project, her endurance and strength at the wilderness camps were extraordinary. She had survived one of the toughest wilderness camps in, hopefully I pronounced it correctly, Verbno. If not, you'll correct me later. And then she was also one of the most active in organizing and facilitating upcycling workshops. And in her personal life, she helps kids with disabilities to do better in life. This is the greatest endurance award, which goes to Denisa. That's you.
Thank you. I love you. I love you. And I'm so grateful that I had the chance to meet you. That's my word. Thank you.
So next nomination is for the most sustainable vegetable grower. So she likes to feel the soil, the fresh air, and to see the little bugs in the soil. And she's ready to share this experience with others. She is passionate advocate for climate justice that leads by example. She finds some abandoned lands inside the cities, and together with friends is turning them into community gardens where they grow together vegetables. Yeah, and she's, because of that, a community organizer also. And I guess you already know who is that?
The sustainable vegetable grower amongst us is Bori. That's you.
Bori. Bori with some soil on the cheek, you know.
I think this picture talks about me. So thank you.
Great. Now we move on to the next prize, which is for someone who has a podcast called "We Are All Gonna Die." The person is also the most hyperactive in Bratislava. He is engaging in all the activities of BROS, and even though he's not studying in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So the most pessimistic hyperactivist award goes to...
Say it.
That's right, that's yours.
Thank you, and I hope we all not gonna die here. Hopefully, we can try.
So the next category of nomination is the gentle breeze of a creative soul. So she believes all people can do something about nature conservation, and she's doing it by herself, by involving others, finding partners, and using very effectively and very creatively her personal Instagram profile to share the news about climate change. And obviously she's successful and has a lot of followers there. So she was also there for the whole project. So a very persistent ambassador, participant in quite a lot of initiatives and wilderness camps. So who is the gentle breeze? You know? No?
Just call it out. Patricia, that's you.
Don't you see the breeze, you know?
Okay. I would like to have that photo because I don't have it. So yeah.
Thank you. So it is someone who jumped on craft tasks in the Game On project, crafting something even at the festival she had attended. You can recognize their work from Sustainable Gardening Workshop yesterday, but also proved to be an amazing train travel problem solver. Is the Crafts and Gardening Fairy. Who do you think that might be?
Again, somebody with trains, obviously.
Someone who has come here by train, apparently. Let's call it out.
Juste,
Let's use that. That's you.
juste.
Thank you.
So, the biggest enthusiast outside of the bubble, you know how important that is and how difficult we get outside of the bubble. So, this person is one of the few that joined the ambassador club from outside of the bubble. She's having a podcast. I'm not saying its name because it will be easy if I say it, but there she spreads the word about various sustainable topics. And she's always positive, full of energy, and head first in all of the actions, being in lots of them in Game On. And she's honest view.
Katerina, that's you.
In order to be head first.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I am overwhelmed. Thank you.
So where are we at now? In all aspects of life, they've tried to promote a climate-friendly lifestyle. They already joined the project during the beginning part in the fighting for sustainability and climate action. The true ambassador's attitude. Let's think who that might be. Well, I think we all are true ambassadors since we're here, but there is only one who has been awarded this award, and their name is Konstantin.
You missed that part that he's asking the question, isn't this food too much for the camp, respectfully for this conference, and what shall we do with the food waste? I think if we said that part, you know it's Konstantin, right?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So, Sustainable Events Manager. He has been involved in the project for all 4 years in his country, participated in all national events, in most of the international wilderness camps, not in Bulgaria, for a pity. He is not only organizing greening events, he made a Christmas event, like sustainable Christmas present event for exchanging things, but he's also expert in that topic and introducing it to the industry that is making events. And probably at some point he will make a comic book on sustainability, as I have understood. So he's. Okay.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without all of you. Thank you.
And now we go on to the most committed biologist, who, in addition to spectacular engaging posts as a biologist, also tries to make scientific arguments in their community. An enthusiastic volunteer for migration research at the Cutic or however it pronounced, birding camp, working with children and engaging the younger generation. So the award for the most committed biologist goes to...
We have several biologists maybe, but compete.
It's her, Apolka. Come to the stage, please.
Apolka.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.
again, a skill that we all need, the best speaker. So this person joined from the Fridays for Future movement, and you know how important is there to be able to engage people, to speak loud and have these communication skills. She's highly active during the whole project. She has been assisting in many of the events in the Climate Game On project in her country. And she possesses excellent presentation and speaking skills that she used to engage people in climate change action and fights. So how many of you will vote for that?
Lucy.
Lucy. She's not here.
Stana will take the...
Unfortunately, she's not here because she didn't feel well, so she's at the hotel, but I will give it to her, and thank you.
Where we are, Danche?
Sorry.
No, it's in the most dedicated bird ringer. Okay, we have another ornithologist in the group. And that's someone who has a huge experience of bird ringing and sharing their skills and knowledge with young and various volunteers from different camps. She's motivated to live in a way where they are more aware of our natural surroundings and protect what we can. Their interest in birding is what drives them to the research about red-breasted flycatchers. That's a bit of a giveaway in the protected area of Kituk, if I pronounce it correctly this time. There we go. Who's the most dedicated bird ringer amongst us all? Oh, good call.
Patricia.
Thank you so much to being here.
Woman power. Multifunctional. Sometimes she's part of the team, another time she's a young ambassador, and another time she's a leader of international delegation of young ambassadors. She has a real knack for communication, but she prefers actions to words. Using her voice and knowledge, she is dedicated to show today's society that women can be active part of solving global challenges, although actually women are more affected by the global problems. So she always finds the right words for the right topic and makes women empowerment be seen.
And the award for women power goes to...
Somewhere in Hungary.
Dorka. That's you.
Thank you.
You're very short, and despite having communication skills and words for everything.
Don't be shy, guys. After half an hour here, you just sweat out everything and you're not shy anymore. Okay, so it seems like the awards in our audience are mainly sort of pointed at women's audience. Nevertheless, apparently they've done the most, and the Dream Big Awards goes to someone who has participated in projects from many perspectives. Once she was an ambassador for climate change, sharing her adornment towards nature with others. Next time, she was the expert to show us how bat monitoring is happening during the wilderness camps. But also, she is someone who bridges between the Natural History Museum that managed to convince all the scientists to have an escape room in the museum and to make it real by working on the scientific base of the puzzles. And the award for Dream Big goes to...
Not a lot of people doing with bats here,
Yeah,
right?
that's you.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. I think that's the modest word here to say, so I will stick it.
So next category is independently thinking motivators. So two people. They are both very active and motivated to work for a more sustainable world, both in their personal life, but also helping in wilderness camps. They both are, I would say, from this meeting, discussion leaders, getting the toughest and nicest questions. They both do it in their own focus and means. So one is exceptionally creative, artistic, and with open eyes and pencils at hand. And the other is well organized, well planned, professional manner. But both are definitely leaders in motivating people to be dedicated and engaged in climate justice and climate change. So who are they? Somebody who had a discussion and had some questions may answer.
It's a pair of motivators, the independently thinking ones. And the award goes to Marcus and Theo from Germany.
Oh, Marcus and Theo.
Thank you.
And no question?
Dankeschön. So the voice of the South. One of the members of fact-finding mission in Guatemala. They kept spreading the word about the struggles of people in the South of school children. Sorry.
Come on, we're on the previous nomination and I have to spoil it if I just forward the slides.
You're very much correct. I have missed the most important. So we're back an award, and it's a person who is not too far from me at the moment. She's an active in building communities and representing youth at international events. She can speak with you in 6 languages about your IKI person and then try to help you find one. She has experience with community gardening, wilderness camps, and climate conferences. Her name is Svetlana.
Thank you. Oh, I see. It was getting quite suspicious. I thought I have a twin in the room, action twin. Thank you so much. And I also don't have the picture on the right. I think it's quite
cut off from a bigger picture.
Oh, I see. Well, it is from the camp in Rila, and it was before I got the sunstroke, so I'm still alive and happy over there, but it was amazing. Thank you.
So next one.
And now on to the last person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That Mario wanted to present very much, obviously, because the topic is very important. And yeah, we had one partner happily that could manage to introduce very well this topic into our agenda, but don't think only of this country. So the Voice of the South. One of the members of the fact-finding mission in Guatemala, she kept spreading the word about the struggles of people in the South to school children, teachers and journalists, managing to get them interested and thinking what kind of coffee they drink every day.
Who might be the voice of the South?
Shall I show it?
Just do it.
Ginkar.
I'm very glad I could participate in Game On for the last more than 2 years. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, that was all for the awards. We would just like to say a few last words. As in the end, we would like to thank everyone in the room and outside of the room who had participated, contributed, devoted their time and efforts to this project. Some of you joined later in the project, like myself. But this means only that a lot of our successful stories are up to come. So please don't forget that all of you are important and do make a change. In our stories, we also saw a lot of positive inspirational examples of sustainable solutions. So today you're our stars, and we hope that you also know that each other better and found some new inspiration. So thanks again.
And speaking about good news, because this is also the focus of our session, speaking about good news, I have also asked the partners in the consortium to tell what improved in your countries in the last 4 years. So I will share some of the good stories from the countries because they show that we're moving somewhere and this is important for our motivation. So during these 4 years, we noticed the examples of people being more aware and active on the topic of climate change, like blocking the streets to protect tree cutting in the cities and the support for banning of fur farms that we know happened in Lithuania. 2 large petitions were launched in Slovakia, and first of it, Climate Needs You, became the most successful online petition in Slovakia's history, gathering more than 120,000 signatures. A huge support for restoration law, this very important legislative thing that was voted recently, coming from Romania, Hungary, and Lithuania. New agricultural policies being introduced in Slovakia towards a more sustainable agriculture with smaller fields, more non-productive areas for pollinators and wildlife. More people trying to get to know nature and its species through the camps that we all organize, but also through just hiking in wilder areas, or more people are biking, taking the trains, using the car less, or using the city electrical scooters. More people start to use, according to what we have observed subjectively, reusable cups and cutlery. A lot of different people from different industries started to talk about climate change from different angles. Climatologists, scientists, nature conservationists, psychologists, politicians. And this is very important because the only way to solve the climate change crisis is if we really debate, all of us from all spheres, and find the common solution.
In order to take some actions, of course, because what we would like to say is a huge thank you to all the partners in the Game On project, without whom we wouldn't have succeeded thus far, and especially the team members of the organizations that were motivated to make the best of our challenging activities that we had, to the DEAR program, of course, for trusting our expertise and finalize the ceremony. And we would like to give the word to Thor now, who was able to balance between all of us
on all levels,
on all different levels of the gamifying processes of this amazing conference. Thank you.
Okay. We have pretty much reached the end, though if you want, I can give you an extra session of like a couple of hours because I see that the energies are there. But no, this is the final conference, and the project, pragmatically speaking, is ending in a little bit over a month. And then obviously comes the beautiful work of reporting. Nevertheless, it has been quite a ride, quite an adventure, quite a pleasure, at least on my side. I know that this is not the last time that we will be seeing each other, but I remember a part of a poem from an Uruguayan poet, Mario Benedetti, roughly translated into English. It's, "Why do I come here? I do not know for certain, but I come here." And for years, it was 3 verses that I kept on repeating myself regarding everything I did. Regarding this project, the people I've met and the people I've worked with, I finally understood why I, at least, came here for, and therefore where I go next. Before I get more emotional, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Please do the evaluation form, and then I will be happy. And with this, we come to a close, and a huge applause for you.